This video is long overdue, and for that I apologize. To be honest, I meant to make this video shortly after I made his being gay choice, and I never got around to it. That was over a year ago. Now seems to be as good a time as ever to make this video. I've had plenty of requests to make it, as well as the media. Let's make something very clear. Gay suicide is not trending. It's not on the rise. It's always been there. The only thing that's changed is the media's sudden awareness. All of a sudden people are talking about it. Tyler Clemente's death was tragic. It was a horrific story of pain and agony and heartbreak. And it brought to the media's attention gay suicide. So here we are. The question remains, why has it taken so long for the vast majority of people to pay attention to gay suicide? But it's a good thing. It's a good thing that we are talking about it. And I'm not here to just talk about gay suicide. I'm here to talk about suicide in general. If you're 14 and your family's condemned you, if you're straight and you're 14 and you're just having trouble at school, if you're 35 and you just went through a divorce, I'm talking to you. This is about whomever is facing suicidal thoughts. Because across the board, the message needs to be made clear. It gets better. It does. I know for a lot of you, my message may not seem overly meaningful because of the luck in my own story. My family accepted me, my friends accepted me, people who I never even talked to accepted me. And I am well aware of that. If there's one thing that I learned with my experience is that a foundation is key. You need to find a foundation. Whether that's here on YouTube, talking to fellow users, whether that's in a support network in your city, in a nearby city, somewhere in the region, whether it's friends, a friend, or if you're lucky enough, whether it's family. A foundation is key. You need to see the good in those relationships and bring out the good. Focus on it. When you spend your time focusing on the bad in life, and sometimes it can feel like the bad outweighs the good. I've been there. I know what it feels like. But looking back on it, the only thing I was doing was I was just not paying any attention at all to the good in my life. It was right there in front of me and I never saw it. And I know it's hard to see it, but it's through the relationships in a foundation that you begin to see the good. That's the first step in healing yourself. It's finding a foundation. And it could be as simple as a YouTube conversation, a YouTube friend. So for some, if there are no other options, YouTube is a good start. For those of you who are in high school and the main problem you're having is bullying and gossip and teenage melodrama, believe me, I understand. But it's important to know that high school it's not the same as the outside world. I know you've heard it before, but this is coming from a fellow high schooler. I was in a good spot when I entered high school, I understand that. But I never bought into any of the melodrama that was going on around me. My social status from grade 9 to grade 12 was never really relevant to me. Never really cared. I remember countless times people being like, Scott, why don't you wear any brand names? And I'm like, why should I have to? You know? I like nice shoes. I think shoes are the only brand name I wear. And slowly I went away from that too. You know? Really, high school it's not at all a good representation of the world around us. Which truly is odd because we've all been there. We all came from high school, you know? But it always holds true. And you hear countless stories of people who were bullied in high school and who had an extremely, extremely rough time. And then they leave high school and their life gets better. Some claim that it was instant. Again, it's important to note that not everyone is as lucky to notice an instant change. Some people, it takes time. You need to find that support network. You need to find that sanctuary. When you're in a spot where not only do your peers around you, but your governing body itself condemns you, it's very hard. I can't even imagine how hard it is. But I guarantee you that there are people who feel for you. Not only because they share something in common with you, but because they sympathize with you. There are sanctuaries out there. You just need to find them. And for some, it's best to migrate. Maybe hard, but for some people, the only really option they have is to seek sanctuary elsewhere. The important thing to know is that this is the only life we get. If you kill yourself now, that's it. Everything stops. And I know some of you have just nodded and said, that's exactly what's so tempting. I know. I was there. I know life can feel at times that nothing good will ever come of it. Looking back at that time that I talked about in as being gay choice, the time where I got as close as I ever would to actually committing suicide, I'm absolutely heartbroken at the thought that I almost took away from myself the possibility to find true happiness, to find that ultimate beacon of what makes life so amazing and beautiful. If I had killed myself, I would have never met my boyfriend. My boyfriend is my pride, my joy. He's my reason to live. He's everything to me. He's my soulmate. I'm not afraid to say it. The fact that I almost took away that possibility of finding someone, of finding true love, terrifies me. And I know that for some people, it may not seem that there is a possibility, but there is always a possibility that you will find someone. And maybe it's not a soulmate. For me, my ultimate beacon of happiness is my boyfriend. For someone else, it may not even be a person. It may be something. Someone else, it may be their child. Everyone has one somewhere. You just need to find it. You need to allow yourself the possibility to find it. Don't take that possibility away from yourself. This is the only life we get. There is no shortage of tragedy in a lifetime of happiness, much the same as there is no shortage of happiness in a lifetime of tragedy. It gets better.